Hi everybody, I'm Don Anderson, and we're going to take the next few minutes and give you a behind-the-scenes look at KTTK, its ministry, and what goes on. For almost 30 years now, we've been broadcasting all God's music all the time to right here to folks in Southwest Missouri, and what a blessing it has been. But 30 years ago, it all started with a vision one night in a church service.
The vision started with a call during a revival service. I'll never forget it. I was down at the altar praying, and it was like almost an audible voice that spoke to me. And Danny and I have always done things together. We've done things forever together. So I got up, he was on the stage. He had been playing his saxophone or getting ready for music during the altar service. And I went up and said, Danny, I said, the Lord just spoke to me and said, we need to start a radio station here in Lebanon. And he looked at me in the strangest way and said he never said a word to me. And from that moment on, I realized that the Lord had dealt with me, and it was a call that he'd placed on my life.
Since the time we went on the air, times have changed and so has technology. From the days of spinning the old records to now everything is loaded on a computer and done over the internet. But one thing that has never changed throughout the years is KTTK has always prided itself and strived to be a station that ministers to all types of people through its music. We play the best in Southern gospel, Christian country, and bluegrass gospel every day and night.
My roots were in traditional church music and Southern gospel. But I had a love for bluegrass, thanks to Farrell Stowe and Gerald Stowe and a few of my good friends there. And then I developed a love for country music because that was about all that was on the radio at that time. And the thing that even seeded this in my mind was running down the highway singing a Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson song, and swear words came from my mouth as I was singing along with them. I stopped the truck and told the Lord that I was sorry. And from that point on, I began to change the way I listened to music. That was before I got the call. So the Lord had begun that work probably on that day.
Another change that God has blessed us with recently is some new studios. God has truly improved our facility to be able to minister to you in a nice, comfortable, warm atmosphere. A couple of years ago, KTTK was able to move from its studios where it had been from the time that it signed on the air to this mobile home out here on Highway 32. And we have future plans someday to build a permanent location right here on this same property that was donated to KTTK. One person who's always been there for KTTK and a huge prayer partner with us is Brother Dean Rhodes.
I know that, especially for older people, I feel like that the radio is about the best thing that can happen to us. And I feel like it's been a great blessing to our home. Now, you can't fool children. A child can sit in front of you at church and fooling around all the time. He's sitting there doing this and doing that and gets everything the preacher says. When you can get home, he can tell you all the preacher said, but you don't realize that, but he does. It's the same way with listening to the radio. They'll get a lot out of what they are hearing, whether they're telling you, let you know or not. So I think that the children get much out of it.
The local community is so important to us, and supporting this ministry helps support the local community. One business here locally, the Durham Company, has been so faithful throughout the years to support KTTK with financial help, even though they really don't profit anything from it.
First of all, we share the values that we believe KTTK represents and certainly want to be supportive of that. Secondly, we just want to be supportive of the community. Our employees here in Lebanon, Lake County. We have a number of them that listen to KTTK, and we think that it's good for them to hear from the company that they work for.
We asked a local pastor, Pastor Brad Reed from Faith Pentecostal Church, about how he has kind of grown in his faith with KTTK throughout the years.
Well, when I first got saved, there wasn't any Christian radio stations. And so KTTK came on the air about a year after I was saved. And so all the programs that were on that were really beneficial to me because as a new Christian, I hadn't been raised in church much and didn't have a Christian worldview. And a lot of those programs that were on there really helped form my ideology of what a Christian's supposed to do and what they're supposed to believe. And as a pastor now, sure, any Christian radio station like KTTK is very beneficial because there is a spiritual nourishing and feeding. The Bible says, you sow to the Spirit, you shall reap life everlasting. And so part of that sowing to the Spirit is listening to good, biblical-based music. And that's what KTTK has. So I think it's great for the Christians and the people of the church to be able to listen to all week long.
So that's a brief history of where we've been. So where do we go from now? Well, that's hard to say. 10 years ago, we never could have imagined we'd be ministering to people all over the world. We have people who tune into KTTK online at kttkradio.org every day in Canada, in China, in Japan, all over the United States because they love the variety. They love the programs. God is using this ministry to be able to reach out to people literally all over the world. KTTK is a not-for-profit radio station, a 501c3 that is totally operated and funded by your donations and also for those of our underwriting partners. When you make a donation to KTTK, every dime of that donation goes into supporting all God's music all the time, to reach the community with great Christian programming, and also to reach people around the world with the good news and the hope of the gospel. So we're asking you to prayerfully consider what you can do to help support KTTK. Maybe through being a prayer partner, maybe through a financial gift of one time, maybe a monthly partner. You can give by sending to KTTK, P.O. Box 1232, Lebanon, Missouri 65536. Or you can also give online, just like many of you are watching today, at kttkradio.org and select the Donate Now button, and you can give securely through PayPal online. It is a costly adventure, but it's one that we believe God has called us to, and God has always provided. Throughout the last 30 years, God has always been faithful, through you, the listeners, of being able to meet our needs. And for that, we just want to say thank you for supporting KTTK. Thank you for being a partner with us, and thank you throughout the years. Whether it was in the early days when we went on the air, when Dave Hutton was with us and doing such a great job as program director, or even now, maybe you've just began supporting and listening to KTTK. We want to thank you for being there and always making all God's music all the time a part of your day. And for that, and for me and all the staff, we say,
thank you so much for your support for the last 29 years. God has been so good. Thank you.
A big thank you to all of our underwriters for the support that you've given us for all of these years.
Thank you for supporting KTTK.
I'd just like to say thank you to all of our listeners and to everyone who has supported the ministry of KTTK.
I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to everyone, to our individuals who support, our churches, and our businesses who underwrite. You have helped make it possible for us to start into our 30th year, and you've helped make it possible for us to reach around the world with the music and message that KTTK provides. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being a loyal listener of KTTK.
Thank you for supporting KTTK Christian Radio.
Thank you for your support.